All right, now for the finale of the Metroid Marathon, we have something a little different. So you saw Ponk doing his blindfolded 100% run. We do have Ponk and Bubzia here. You'll notice they're not playing the same game. They are both going blindfolded, but Bubzia is going to play Zero Mission while Ponk is going to play Super Metroid. One caveat: Ponk is not going 100%, so we are not going to have to worry about the sky missiles. This is just back to the any percent run. In a second, I'll be joined by Arasu, who'll be able to talk a little bit more about Zero Mission. Zero Mission, not my game. It's a great game, but I don't play it very much, so I've only played it casually. So I'll need someone. Ross will be here in a second. He will be able to tell you all about Zero Mission. In the meantime, Ponk going through Cirrus Station, and Bubzia going to the left. Actually, something I will shout out here, this being Zero Mission. When the original game came out back in 1986, this part where you have to go to the left to pick up that morph ball, that was a new thing to video games. A lot of people didn't get very far in this game because they kept trying to go to the right. And of course, if you try to go to the right, you're not going to get very far. And of course, Zero Mission being a remake of the original, also is going to make you go to the left first to get that morph ball. And as you can see, both guys on our screen with their blindfolds on. And hopefully this time, Ponk remembers to leave his light on so that we can actually see him as the day goes on. Yes, this is the finale, so... See, and Punk's not even on the planet yet, so I guess Bubsy has already got the lead. And here's Rasu to join us and help explain what's going on in Zero Mission.
Hello. I'm really excited about this race. I've been hyping him up, and hopefully we'll get a good race here.
Yeah. Okay, I can talk very much about Super Metroid, but why don't you talk a little about what's going on in the Zero Mission side of things?
Okay. So when you play any percent, when you compare the two any percent runs, Zero Mission has a world record of a 37:56, I believe, while Super Metroid has a world record of don't get mad at me if I don't remember this, 40:56.
Yep, that's
Okay.
right. Behemoth's just setting that about a month ago, I think.
Yeah,
It's pretty recent.
So it is really recent. So now, naturally, Zero Mission is going to be faster. However, there are some quirks with Zero Mission that there are some advantages that Super Metroid has over Zero Mission in terms of blindfold. As you are probably aware, Ponk has the ability to use his beams, his footsteps, and his jump as a sort of echolocation. Unfortunately for Zero Mission, does not have those tools. In Zero Mission, if you keep running against a wall, Samus will continue to run. So if you can even hear her footsteps, you would still hear it running. So Bubzia will have to rely on other means in terms of echolocation. In this case, his beam. Beams do not make sounds when they hit the wall either. I at least I don't think so. This is I don't know if he's gonna get a wave or not. It'll just make it even worse. So he may rely on using missiles instead. Missiles do explode when they hit the wall. So keep that in mind when you're watching these two runners.
Okay, now I will say this. So Ponk's actual PB in this for any percent is 147.17. So pretty darn good. And actually that would have, if he were to submit that as his regular PB, that actually would put him 804th on speedruns.com and 716th on Deer Tier. So when you think about it, it's pretty darn impressive.
Yeah, Punk recently PB'd, if I remember correctly. So
Yeah, that 147.17 was actually done in April. So yeah, he was going for the sub 2 and amazing. I don't think he's going to get anything that quick because he's going to take safeties here. I believe that that run had no saves in it, and in a marathon situation, he's not going to skip any. He's not going to skip those saves.
right, and Bubsy mentioned to me on a few occasions that his average is about a 140. So this could be a very close race.
Could be.
That would mean that Punk would need to play his A game, while Bubsy just kind of not needs to mess up. So we're looking at Bubsy's side here. He did pick up the long beam, and he did fight the giant side hopper that appears when you try to enter the. We call him the Mossy 2, the equivalent of the Golden 4.
Mm.
Only two bosses in Zero Mission here. Another advantage over Super Metroid. And they are pretty easy. Well, Ridley is pretty easy. I can't say the same for Crid Blindfolded.
Not sure if Zero Mission has anything like the climb here. Although I suspect, I guess their version of the climb would be after defeating Mother Brain, because this room is supposed to mimic that escape
Right.
from the original
This
game.
is actually this room that Punk is in right now will be uh, on Bubsy's side here after he defeats Mother Brain. Punk having left the ruined Turian section, I guess, the old Mother Brain room, as you call it,
Yep.
which is the new actual Mother Brain room in Zero Mission.
Yep. Doing much better on this than he did last time, yesterday.
So looking at Bubsy's side here, it seems that he's using acid as well as jumping around as his form of echolocation. He did trigger the boss fight, so he knows exactly where he is.
Yeah, one of the added bosses. Oh, it looks like he's resetting. But yeah, that one of the added bosses from the original game. The original game, of course, only having the 3 bosses: Kraid, Ridley, and Mother Brain.
Right. So it seemed that his normalized setup there, it looked like he intentionally rolled into the cave worm's thorn sides, and he wants to get knocked back in such a way that all you have to do is unmorph and shoot up to get that second hit on the worm. Messing that up, you will see these runners do some resets here or there when their normalized setup goes horribly wrong.
Okay, here he goes again. He did pick up the long beam. So yeah, in a normal any percent run, I don't believe you pick up long beam. Is that correct?
That's correct. Normal any percent run skips a huge majority of the majors, including screw attack, long beams. You get space jump. Varia is never used in any category.
Well, because you get it when you pick up gravity anyway.
Right. So a bunch of the beams, wave is not picked up. So I don't. I'm not entirely sure if Bubsy will pick up wave. I expect that it would actually be a hindrance for him if he does pick it up. Not to mention that it's pretty deep in warfare. I don't think he'll want to go in there. So speaking of mini boss fights, Bubsy did finish the cave where Ponk is on his way to bomb Torizo.
Gonna get those bombs. Wake up Bomb Chorizo.
And you can see, you'll see the runners nodding their head as a sort of confirmation that they know where they are.
And Bomb Chorizo would be the only boss in this game that you actually could hurt with a normal beam.
You know, I never actually thought about that. That's true. Unfortunately, in Zero Mission, none of the bosses can be harmed with a normal beam.
which is a little ironic because in the original game you can, well, in Mother Brain you can't, but the both Kraid and Ridley can be harmed by normal beams.
Right. Charge beam can damage some of the bosses. However, it's preferred to use missiles and supers as they are a faster rate of fire, especially at 80% when your beam is not full. You don't have wave, so it does less than you would get out of a fast rate of fire from your missiles.
No, to answer the question about Alcatraz, Ponk has done Alcatraz blindfolded. I don't know that he's ever done it in a run blindfolded. I think he's only managed to do it in practice. That's a difficult enough strat with your sight, so I certainly can't blame him for not wanting to do it in a blindfolded run.
Looks like Bubsy is a little lost here. He might choose to reset the room. I think, yeah, he's shooting these enemies, so he knows where he is. Oh no, he's actually, I thought he picked up bombs already, but he's on his way to pick up bombs right now. So roughly the same time between the two runners in terms of picking up the bomb.
I assume that's one of the items that you can't do without in Zero Mission anyway.
Right. In the randomizer, bomb is so important that you can get only as far as the first room in Kraid without them. And Norfair is completely inaccessible without bombs or power bombs.
Okay, Ponk setting up for the mock ball here, and we'll have to try again. Ponk's still having trouble with that mock ball.
Yeah, and it looks like he doesn't have enough run speed, it seems.
Yeah, that's a tricky way to do it. Most people, when they do this strat in general, they do it through the doorway. There he goes.
Very nice. Alright, Bubsy's gonna take a safety save here.
And so while Ponk is not going to pick up 100% of the items like he did yesterday, he's still going to pick up a lot more items than he does one would in a typical sighted any percent run. For the most part, he'll be picking up extra super missiles and extra E-tanks. Quite a few extra missiles as well. I mean, there are 230 in the game, so you might as well pick up the ones that are kind of in your path.
So another comparison between the two in terms of normalized movement. It looks like Bubsy. So Zero Mission has this mechanic where if you're mid-air and you press jump again, you would automatically enter into a spin mode.
Hmm.
Um, and in Zero Mission, it's not possible to spin jump vertically straight up or down.
Okay.
So he'll either be when he activates the spin jump, he will either be spinning left or spinning right. So Bubsy's strategy here is to jump as high as he can in some places, and then press A or jump again to use that spin to move him into a spot that he needs to be in.
Okay, upon heading into Big Pink, he'll pick up a charge beam here. He'll probably turn that off for large portions of the run. As we talked about yesterday, uh, because he uses that beam for that echolocation, you kind of know where he's at. A lot of times he'll just hold down the shoot button, which allows him to just fire continuously with that beam. So having the charge beam on just makes that not work, because if you hold down the button, you're charging your charge beam.
I'm sorry for the dog. It seems as if Bubsy knows exactly where he is. He's using these enemies. He's killing these enemies as a form of echolocation to let him know where he is.
Yeah, so, and to answer the question, no, we won't see Crocomire today. That was actually one of the things that Ponk took out of his any percent blindfolded run. He used to do Crocomire, a large part because that helped allowed him to get the grapple beam. The grapple beam in a blindfolded run is useful because you can kind of use it even more as a cane than your regular beams, but it's such a time loss that he managed to take it out.
Another interesting factor here, as I'm comparing the two runs, Bubsy has the ability to refill at every Chozo with an open hand that he sees right here. Uh, Speaking of refills, Ponk
Ponk,
using the Slitter's refill. Ponk doesn't have that many places. He does have a bunch of pipe bugs that he could use to his advantage.
yes.
But for Bubsy, the Chozos are more prevalent around him that he could easily use them for a quick refill.
Punk's gonna go ahead and pick up Spazer here. He's gonna try and go ahead and pick up Spacer here. Accidentally going through the door. Okay, here we go. We'll get that Spazer beam yet.
It seems like the runners are actually picking up their majors around the same time. Bubsy about to pick up Power Grip, which will be, I don't know if it's going to be an important item for him. Power Grip is a required item. The game will not allow you to progress through Norfair without it.
Okay.
It just randomly spawns a vine in one of the hallways that you can't get through until you pick it up. So I don't know. It's pretty arbitrary. We all agree in the community that it is arbitrary. However, it is mandatory.
Okay, so we'll get to see our first Kraid fight pretty soon. And the crate fight on Punk's side is one of those spots where if he has issues, he may actually reset. The crate fight is a really difficult one if you don't get the quick kill. Um, so what he's going to do is he's going to take this save here, and if he misses the quick kill, he will reset.
I really like this quick kill from Punk, abusing some
Hey,
a glitch, I guess.
he abuses lag.
Yeah, so I never knew about it until I saw his blindfold run.
And we'll describe it as he gets into it. Basically, what he's going to do as he's getting closer to it, he's going to use the charge beam to maximize the lag in the room, which will make the timing normalize so he can base his shots off the music.
All right, can we get some quiet in the chat, please? For the audio cue.
There you go. At first, he's going to farm up a little bit here. He's going to make sure he's full up on super missiles by killing Mini Crate in extra time. Oh boy.
Is he gonna go for it?
I don't know. That's a good question.
He is going for it.
He's going for it. Well, if he gets the quick kill, it's fine. If he doesn't get it, well, he's going to reset anyway, so it's probably fine.
Right.
And he got him.
Very nice. And he'll get that health bomb. Meanwhile, Bubsy had just picked up Ice Beam, and as I said earlier, he uses that Chozo statue to refill himself.
Okay, and thank you to Balthazar. These guys do have a Discord specifically related to blindfolded speedrunning. So you can see that in the chat running by there. If you're interested in running anything blindfolded. Doesn't have to be even a Metroid game.
I commend you if you do.
I know. I have to agree with that. I'm happy to watch these guys do it.
So Bubsy doing a very impressive Chozo skip. I think we call it Chozo skip. I don't know if it actually has a strat name. Where he used a bomb jump to roll over the top of the Chozo's head. What this does is that it skips an absurd amount of cutscene time where the Chozo shows you where you're supposed to go.
Yeah, I feel like that was one of the negatives of Zero Mission was the yeah, here's where you need to go next thing. Maybe they could have just left that in easy mode instead of putting that in all the different versions. Maybe it's a overreaction to how hard it was to figure out where you were supposed to go in the original game.
I mean, we 90s kids never complained about it. I don't know.
I was an 80s kid. I never
Okay.
complained about not having a map in the original because that wasn't a thing, you know?
Yeah,
Like a map? Wow, what's that?
They compare it
We
to,
made our
like,
own maps.
compare the game to like Battletoads, you know, where you just die everywhere. Like this game is not that hard, guys. All right, so Bubsy had to reset there as he wasn't able to get to that shortcut that he needed to get into to access Ridley's lair. He instead fell through some crumble blocks that had him loop back around to this area.
Meanwhile, ponking the first try mock ball into the ice beam.
Now the trick Bubsy is about to do here, it's hard even for normal normal runs here. It's very easy to get caught into the crumble blocks and fall back down. Bubsy is going to reset the room. I guess he didn't like the pattern that he had. Very nicely done. So Bubsy is on his way to the second mini boss, the Imago Cocoon. This is going to be, in my opinion, this will be a very interesting fight. Blindfolded. As I mentioned earlier, there aren't that many echolocation tools in Zero Mission, so he'll need to rely on a little bit of luck here with the spores that shoot out of Imago's cocoon. While he may just actually use the Ripper. We'll see. But I think this could be a very difficult fight. If things go wrong, he might just reset. So he's got the Ripper in place. And it's 9 shots for each side, so it's looking like it's going really well right now for him. He did pick up a bunch of missile expansions here, so and he did refill recently, so he knows that he has enough. Nice.
So many cutscenes in this.
Oh yeah. Interestingly,
Come on, Nintendo! Didn't you know we were gonna speedrun this?
So the route that he's taking actually is the faster route for RTA, as it does skip a certain cutscene when you leave Kraid. The game developers actually intended for you to be able to either choose between fighting Ridley first or Kraid first. However, they forgot that there still are cutscenes. Actually, they didn't forget, because in the cutscene leaving Kraid, Ridley shows up and he's upset that you defeated Kraid. So in this case, since you've already defeated Ridley, there's really no point in showing a cutscene of Ridley still alive, getting mad that you defeated Kraid.
Oh, there you go.
So they took that out.
Okay, Ponk heading into Bubble Mountain.
I like the setup here from Ponk.
Yeah. Actually, Bubble Mountain, from a speedrunning perspective, is one of my favorite spots in the entire game, because if you watch 10 different speedrunners do it, you're going to see 10 different ways of getting through it. And I think that's really cool. And of course, none of them use the vanilla way to get up here, because there is the intended thing to do is to go down and around, but no one ever sees that in at least not in an old route any percent run. Of course, in a new route any percent run, I've begun calling that what I call the remembered highway, because people run it backwards and it became remembered when we started doing new route. But we're not going to see that here, because Punk's doing old route, of course, with extra stuff.
So Bubsy is having a little bit of difficulty here, bomb jumping up into that small hole in the wall or in the ceiling. It looks like he has a set number of bomb jumps that he's counting before he holds right. However, there is this little thing about bombs in ZM or Zero Mission, where the timing of your bomb jump can affect the height of your infinite bomb jump. So as you can see here, he's not really getting that maximum height that I think he's expecting from his timing. So he'll definitely have to reconsider his timing there for the bomb jump, and we see a death there. Falling into that acid with only one way out is not the best thing,
No, not at all. But that's why we save.
right?
And we even talked about this yesterday in Punk's Hundo Run. Uh, Bomb jumping just sounds like a terrible thing to have to do blindfolded.
Right, and unfortunately, in Zero Mission's case, it is kind of needed to do a proper speed run.
Okay, this next strat that Punk's gonna do, if you didn't see it yesterday, it's pretty cool. He's gonna use it to get his wave beam. This room is just awful in general. So what he's gonna do is he's gonna go ahead and set up a shine spark in here, so it'll land him exactly on one of these little elevator platform thingies. I forget what their actual name is. They do have a name. Do a couple of normalized jumps to get up. And there's the wave beam.
I think Bubsy is using one extra one extra bomb. You as soon as you hit the ceiling, you basically can't continue your infinite bomb jump. I know that in Super Metroid there is a tech that allows you to basically ride the ceiling with bomb jumps. In Zero Mission's case, that's not possible.
Okay, so this time, unlike yesterday, Punk is just gonna head on out.
Oh, just a little bit of misalignment there from Bubsy.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty of the developers put that one little hole there.
It's
Didn't you know?
actually
Didn't you know someone's gonna be playing this blindfolded and would just keep trolling?
that's actually a convenience. That secret missile block there was meant for people to bypass going around the back end of Ridley. But as far as blindfolded goes, I can see why it can be a little difficult. Yeah, I think he's one bomb. He's just laying one extra bomb. That's basically throwing it all out.
So I assume the idea is he's gonna want to hit the right on the D-pad at a certain time here. You can't just hold the right on the D-pad because if you're not up high enough, you're just gonna move over, and that's not what he wants either.
Correct. So the ZM controls are a little tighter than SM in terms of bomb jumping and infinite bomb jumping. The moment you touch a direction on your D-pad as you're bomb jumping, you could throw off your infinite bomb jump very easily.
And Ponkt taking another trip to the Sloater's refill.
Looks like Bubsy is going to take another death here.
You can see him shrugging there. That's the frustration of Blindfolded.
In his defense, oh, actually, I can't even say that. They're both in international time zones, but Ponk hailing from Germany and Bubsy, I believe, lives in Japan, where it is about 6 a.m.
Oh, dear God. Yeah, it's almost 11 o'clock in Germany right now. That's
And I
not
know
too bad.
it's not bad for Ponk. I know he's a nighttime kind of guy, so. But for Bubsy, it is really early for him.
Ponk now gonna head up and get his power bombs. Basically, by jumping up, he's eventually gonna hit the rippers there.
Oh, and he finally gets it. Very nice.
All right.
That sigh of relief.
There was never a doubt.
All right, so Bubsy is now going to progress through Ridley. The upcoming room, actually 2 rooms ahead, is a very dangerous room, but I expect that he will have some safety strats for it. There will be many giant side hoppers in his way, and they do 30 damage each. I believe he only has 199 health, so he can only take so much. He does have long beam, so he could spam this if he wants to. And
Yeah, so
he's
he's
gonna do
doing
exactly that. I guess the technical term is Deskiga. They kind of look like Deskigas, but they're not
Yeah,
as big.
well, there are both Desigas and the side hoppers are the ones in Brinstar, and the Deskigas are the ones in Lower Norfair. So if he's in Norfair now, I assume, I guess they'd be Deskigas then.
Yep. And they are different colored, differently colored. Deskigas being purplish, while side hoppers being green.
Yep.
And some would say that they have those furry leggings or whatever you call them. So this is another difficult trick for Bubsy here. He must freeze this orb here, and it looks like he did. And wow, first try, very nice.
Nice.
Falling down there, I'm pretty sure will be a reset for him, and he already had some trouble with the shortcuts. So very fortunate for him to get that first try.
Okay, Ponk, having picked up his power bombs, is now going to do a whole bunch of Brinstar cleanup. This is the point where in a normal run you'd head up to Fantoon, and 3 tanks and various suit is plenty for Fantoon in a normal run. But of course, this is not a normal run, so he's going to want to have extra safety before he goes over there.
And speaking of safety, Bubsy picking up 3 extra missile tanks that you don't normally get in any percent, as well as his very first super missile pack. Oh, there's the 3rd one.
Yeah, what exactly is the normal number of items in an 80% route in Zero Mission?
50 and 6. 50 missiles and 6 supers.
Okay. Right, it's 2 supers per super pack, right?
Yes. So 3 super pickups is the minimal number of supers that you need to defeat Mecha Ridley with only supers.
Gotcha. And of course, what Ponk is most interested in this area is the E-tanks, and also the super missiles are super useful. No pun intended.
Alright, so Bubsy spamming his beams here, making sure that all these floaty orbs are gone. He will set up here to pick up his second super missile pack, which would be very useful for the upcoming boss. And I hope you agree with me, but I think Punk has had enough time on audio, so I'm gonna switch over to Bubsy.
Go for it.
So Bubsy defeating his first Idor, or Ghidorah, and he will pick up his second unknown item. These unknown items don't activate until you defeat Charlie. So, oh, very close. So I didn't know he was gonna do this. Bubsy was attempting a refill glitch. It was really close, but he was just slightly off to the right. That would have been a huge swag strat, especially blind. It's hard enough to do it regular, like with your eyes. Doing it blindfolded would have been extremely impressive. So now Bubsy is in Ridley's room. He will run all the way to the right to make sure he knows exactly where he is. Facing left after moving right triggers the Ridley fight. So
Actually, we should have waited till after the Ridley fight.
oh,
This won't take long though.
yeah, I'm sorry.
The Ridley screeches. Oh my god.
Luckily, this isn't Metroid Fusion. Metroid Fusion has the loudest Ridley fight ever.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I heard the commentators joking about the Ridley noise and how he doesn't make any noise. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not as bad as Fusion, but it is still pretty bad, especially if you're wearing headphones. More normalized movement here for Bubsy, allowing him to get through, exiting Ridley using the pipe bug as a platform to freeze. It is required to do that, or else do some bomb jumping because you don't have high jump yet.
Actually, going to point out this room that Ponk was just in and about to go back in. This room right here with that E-tank is the exact replica of one of the rooms in the original game. And I think it shows up here too, where you have the little hole in there that you fall through.
Yes, it does show up here. It is in Ridley and not in Brinstar.
Yeah, which is kind of strange. They put it in a different spot, but you know, whatever. not the Zero Mission did, but the Super Metroid put it in that different spot.
Yeah. If you played Metroid before playing Super Metroid or Zero Mission, you'd know exactly what you're in for.
Yep. And I still fell through the hole and then saved and then had to restart my game because I couldn't figure out how to wall jump.
Alright, so Bubsy is now finished with Ridley. He'll take this elevator up and head through to Brinstar once again. Brinstar being the central area in between the two boss areas, as well as Turian. It's kind of like, I guess we could call the whole of Brinstar, I guess we could call it Main Street. It's always used. So Bubsy is having a little bit of difficulty figuring out where he is right now. I think he wants to save. Oh, he doesn't want to save. Okay. And pesky elevators. I'm pretty sure Pong feels the same way about elevators.
Yep, I'm pretty sure he does.
You can see the frustration set in. Ponk scratching his head a little bit. But I have to admit that coming from GBA Metroid, that I am rooting for Bubsy to win this. As you can see in his camera, that he is poised and he's ready to win.
Unfortunately, I have no idea who's leading right now.
Me
And a lot
neither.
could depend on does one of them get stuck at any one spot for a long period of time.
Right. Bubsy did have that unfortunate event where he was stuck in the first room of release, so but he managed to get through. Oh yeah, another thing that we saw Bubsy do just now. It is possible in Zero Mission to pseudo screw attack or screw attack frozen enemies and kill them.
Yep. That was in the original game too, I do believe. Not so in Super Metroid.
However, it is not possible to wall jump off of frozen enemies. So there are a lot of different quirks between the two games, where one game has an advantage and the other game has its own advantage. Bubsy picking up his high jump boots. High jump boots also gives you the ability to spring ball. So two for one, I guess, if you're a Super Metroid player.
Yeah, but unfortunately, doesn't give them the opportunity to do cool spring ball jump strats that we use in randomizers.
Yeah, you see, Zero Mission was made maybe a decade after Super Metroid, so the developers got wise and started patching things out.
Although to be fair, I'm actually have no idea when spring ball jump was found. It actually wasn't that useful, I don't think, until randomizers.
I'm willing to
'Cause
bet that.
You get it so late.
Mhm. I'm willing to bet that one of the developers are a speedrun fan of some kind and saw all this broken stuff
It
and
wouldn't
went,
surprise
"Hey
me.
guys, 10 years from now, we're gonna fix all of
There
this."
you go.
It makes me wonder what a an official Super Metroid remake would look like.
Yeah, I kind of don't want a remake. I'd be very skeptical about what they would do with it.
So coming up, we have Pont on his second boss, right? Um, Fantoon.
Yeah, to answer the question, so somebody's asking about spring ball jump. So in what you can do with the spring ball is to get a higher jump. What you can do is if you pause, and before the pause menu fully takes effect. So first we get to turn spring ball off. Then you pause, and before the pause fully takes effect, if you do a mid-air morph and you're still on the upswing of your jump, you can pause, turn spring ball back on, and get an additional jump out of it. And it's used extensively in randomizers, both underwater and outside of water. Yeah, if you didn't get to see the randomizer race last night, there were several instances of using spring ball jump there, so you could get a good idea of exactly how that works.
Yeah, I think we even saw a double spring ball jump, which is really hard tech.
Oh, very hard. Yeah, I think Slaughter's managed to pull that one off.
Yeah.
Okay, so normally in a speed run, you wouldn't want to enrage Fantoon like Ponkt does. But here, because he's got the charge beam and can pseudo screw around the flames, what he basically wants to do here is he's going to do charge beam shots and then a super missile when he can, and that because that does the maximum damage. Certainly isn't very fast, but now so he does 2 charge beam shots and a super missile, and he's going to pseudo screw through the flames. Super missile doing double damage, so 600 damage to Fantoon. As Nintendo Power put it, 20 some odd years ago, 5 supers, and you're done.
I feel like they said that intentionally, knowing what they'll put you through.
Would not surprise me.
However, the Doppler technique I don't think is intended, so it could be that the Nintendo Power strats were the actual intended strats. So Bubsy is now in crate. I would be extremely impressed right now if he did acid worm skip. Okay, he's not. Acid worm skip is one of the most difficult tricks that an any percent runner will face. It requires bomb jumping off of a breakable block that doesn't respawn. Um, and if you failed it, you would either have to do a horizontal bomb jump or reset the room completely. Um, it's hard enough doing it regularly. Blindfolded, I don't know. I don't want to say it, but I want to say that it is impossible, basically.
And I'll have to shout out the music. This is my favorite music in Zero Mission.
Yeah, a lot of people agree that the crate music is the best song in Zero Mission.
Okay, and Ponkt through his Fantoon fight.
Very nicely done. Bubsy was able to destroy the one and only breakable block in that tiny shaft. Was able to get through. I'm sorry. AWS is Acid Worm Skip. Acid Worm is the boss that Bubsy is about to fight here. Three rooms ahead. Um, Basically, what it means is that if you do Acid Worm Skip, the zip lines are not active, therefore you can't use them. Uh, However, activating the zip line like Bubsia did just a couple rooms ago means that you will have to fight this boss.
So is this kind of like the Spore Spawn of
Well, yes, it can be skipped.
it
Um,
can be skipped like Spore Spawn can be skipped.
Absolutely can be skipped. But is it absolutely important to skip? It is. It's actually more convenient to kill the acid worm depending on what category you're playing.
Okay.
And in 100% it's required to kill acid worm as he's guarding a missile pack.
Yeah, I believe Bubsy was facing the wrong way while firing some of those missiles.
Yeah. And a very
This
interesting
time.
thing there from Bubsia, he actually, it looked like he was guessing, but he actually timed that fight. I don't know if you saw it in the beginning of the fight, he shot out three missiles, knowing that the third one was going to miss. The third one that missed hit the wall far, far to the right, indicating to him that it's time to move.
So to answer the question, how are they doing this? So I can speak more to Ponkt's preparation doing this. He did start this September 2016, so he's been doing this for a while. So it's a lot of practice, a lot of figuring out normalized strats, a lot of hearing. In the case of Super Metroid, a lot of sound cues, but a lot of work went into him being able to do
Absolutely.
this, and I have to assume that Bubsia put as much work into Zero Mission.
Definitely. It's it's like Minecraft. You know, you enter this server and there's this giant castle, and you're like, how did they build that? Well, there's really only one way to build stuff in Minecraft, so it takes a lot of time and dedication to get the result that you want. I do believe that Pong has some ambitions in getting one of his runs into AGDQ or SGDQ. So
That's what we're hoping for. He has done this live once, but at a very at a much smaller convention. So
it will definitely make it more appealing to the if you're out there. You know, it makes it more appealing if he actually successfully completes runs, especially live.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Frankly, right now the bigger obstacle is that SGDQ and AGDQ, neither one falls at a very good time for Germany's school semesters. Not
Right.
to mention the money to get here. So
Yeah, for most of us that live in the United States or even Canada, I think there is a standardized school schedule. It's not the same way
pretty
in other
close.
countries. Yeah.
In the U.S. It's not exactly the same everywhere. It's pretty similar, but yeah, Germany has a very weird to us schedule. That means he's actually Gus has to go back to school tomorrow, so has classes and everything.
So as you saw there, Bubsy running through the giant side hoppers, there are 5 in the area. So to him, 5 hits means that he's near the door. And we're about to see Kraid. I'm really curious as to how this fight will go. Oh wait, he has supers. All he has to do. All right, don't blink, guys.
I think that's quicker than the Super Metroid quick kill.
Absolutely, no
D-
doubt about it.
Does the game not expect you to have supers yet? Casually in this?
Well, so it was mentioned in the chat that developers uh, have intended ways to get to any boss that you want first. However,
Right.
I don't know if they intended for you to get supers first. So Kraid, just like in Super Metroid, Kraid, it takes 15 missiles to kill. Um, However, in Zero Mission, one super missile is equivalent to 5 missiles as opposed to 3.
Okay. Yeah, whereas and of course we do have some of the bosses that are weak to super, so they end up doing 6 missiles of damage. But Kraid is 3 supers, 1 missile kill. That's a total of 1,000 HP.
Bubsy going for a standardized Shine Spark, which is very impressive. Using the pause to buffer his speed booster. After pausing the game, you can basically just hold down to charge your Shine Spark. And he gets through to the Rio room with no problem. The danger in the Rio room is that if you fall into the acid, you fall right back down to the room below it. So something similar to the yapping Moz in Meridia on your way to Forgotten Highway. As you can see, Bubsy is nodding his head, counting. I'm not sure if that's something that you would do for a normalized setup. You could count faster, you could count slower, so this would be a pretty difficult trick for him.
Nice.
And he gets it. Very nice.
Hawk meanwhile entering Meridia. Of course, we don't see Meridia on Bubsia's end because Meridia didn't exist in the in Zero Mission
That's right.
or in the original game.
Well, technically, it's mentioned somewhere out there in some book or whatever. Zero Mission does in fact have a red ship.
Yes.
However, it's only 2 rooms. It's only 2 rooms of red ship. So Bubsy is on his way now to Turian, and he'll be facing off against some Metroids. Metroids are very dangerous. He does have a lot of health here, so it's kind of expected. Being blindfolded and all, you really don't want to have just one E-tank that you would typically have in an
No.
90% run. And it looks like he's going Oh, he's going to pick up the Brinstar Super. This is what he's doing. Okay.
Extra super missiles is probably a good
Actually,
thing.
yeah, absolutely. 1 super missile will kill a Metroid. again, going for the pause buffer strats here. And he gets it. Very nice. How far do you think Ponk is in his run right now?
Maybe 2/3.
Two
No,
thirds.
well, halfway through is I mean, estimate time being about 2 hours if you figure, but I'd say he's a little further than that. He's done 2 of the bosses.
What a coincidence. Bubsy also has finished 2 bosses.
Yeah, exactly.
However,
Unfortunately, there are not quite as many. But he's not done after Mother Brain. He has more to go after that.
Right. I guess you could call it DLC. It seems to be a popular term among Metroid games. Um, the suitless section after Turian is not included in the original Metroid game.
Yeah, I'm actually really interested to see how he does that with without seeing it. How he does that blindfolded.
Well, it would look really difficult. The pirates do a ton of damage, one whole E-tank if they touch you. Actually, the beam will also do one whole E-tank. But the fortunate thing is that all the pirates are in exactly the same place and will react to you exactly the same way if you do everything exactly the same way.
Okay, so you just have to do everything exactly the right way.
Right.
Simple.
But first, there is Turian. Turian is going to be very interesting to watch, I think.
Metroids feeding off the space bars. Why not just take the Metroids and put them in the ship that? Yeah.
So we're about an hour in, and I think it's time to switch over to Punk's side. I wonder if either runner feels like they are ahead or behind right now.
I'm not sure how you'd even tell. It depends on how much you've watched the other runner. Bubsy having had the one spot where he got stuck a little bit. Punk hasn't had one of those yet, so if it were me, that might make me feel behind.
All right, that was a very sketchy second room for Bubsy, but he managed to get through just fine. Bubsy using his max height jumps and respins to normalize his movement through this area. I have
Got
no
grabbed by
doubts.
one.
Oh no, you got grabbed. Yep.
But he's good.
Okay.
He's okay. He's got it.
I have no doubts that he knows exactly how many supers he has. The super missile has a different sound when you pick it up, unlike Super Metroid.
Punk gonna pick up this E-tank here.
Okay, it looks like Bubsy will opt to farm first. Before possibly saving, I'm pretty sure he's gonna want to save. Ah, a little farming session between the two runners.
Are those Rinkas he's farming over there?
Yeah, there are two different Rinkas in Turian. the red Rinkas have a very low chance to drop anything. However, green Rinkas will guarantee a drop of some kind.
Gotcha.
So, Bubsy not receiving any more drops from the Rinkas is an indicator that he's full up on everything.
Right. In Super Metroid, the Rinkas don't drop anything.
Yeah.
Which is why you can soft lock yourself if you don't have enough ammo and you get too far.
Yeah, I'm assuming the developers realized what they did. And, much to the behest of all these people who get stuck in Turian.
Yeah, because we talk about soft locks and randomizers, and those happen because you don't necessarily have the items that the developers meant you to have. But in Turian, you can soft lock yourself if you don't have enough missiles, because you can't refill your super missiles. You can just soft lock yourself in the normal game.
So Bubsy has taken this very carefully. The Metroids have some kind of rubber band-ish effect where they want to get near you. However, they kind of rubber band back to where your current location is if they pass you. So with that in mind, I'm pretty sure Bubsy knows how to manipulate these Metroids blindfolded.
Okay, Ponk over the trolliest part of Coliseum now.
So this is probably the most dangerous room here for Bubsy. There are a total of 6 Metroids here. And if he's not careful, he could accidentally spawn more than he'd like. Oh, he accidentally shoots his last super, but he does have more than enough missiles here to get rid of this very last Metroid. And another interesting thing about Zero Mission is that if you've met the objective of the room, the door will make a sound telling you that it is open. It's ready to be opened. So he's going to reset the room here so he doesn't have to... he might be going back to farm. I can only assume that he's going back to farm because there was a save point just immediately to the left of that room.
Alright, so Ponk did not get 2 of the 3 turrets. That's going to make this a lot more difficult. Dragon fight is generally Punk's favorite because he uses the most vanilla strats here, just using ammo. And unlike yesterday where grapple was a choice he could have made and didn't, this time he doesn't have grapple, so he won't be using it. And down goes Dragon.
Very nice. I can't imagine. Well, we'll probably say this a lot, but I can't imagine being able to do things like this blindfolded, especially for bosses that appear to be erratic. You know what I mean? Dragon does have a pattern. The only useful pattern for Dragon is that after Dragon shoots out some goop, she will always swoop afterwards.
Yep, that's about it. Yeah, if you will, and seriously, if you want to see just how difficult this is, probably using C as experience how difficult this is. Just pick any part of any of your favorite game and just try doing it blind with your eyes closed. You don't even need a blindfold. You get an idea just how difficult what these guys are doing is.
Bubsy is seemingly stuck here. There are a lot of turrets, and they don't shoot randomly, I guess, like Super Metroid does. And because of that, they do shoot a steady stream of bullets at you. However, oh no, I don't think Bubsy meant to do that. He just wasted all of his supers.
Mm,
I
yeah.
think he has enough for Mother Brain. Maybe not. I'm not. I can't math right now.
What's the number of regular missiles you need?
He
Or
needs
what's
to shoot 4 supers and 15 missiles. So 35 missiles. Thank you, Dragon Fangs. Yeah, so he does have enough. However, his health is dangerously low here. And yeah, he will have to take that death. I don't think he intended to shoot out those 2 supers that he needed. So the really nice thing about most of the Zero Mission bosses is that they are pretty stationary. uh, one not moving at all. That's Mother Brain, and it's easy. It's easy to mash your missiles or your beams at them.
now? Does he have the option to take out all the Zebs and then go back and save,
He
and they're still
does,
gone?
yes.
Just yeah, because that's the original game, and of course Super Metroid allow for that.
An interesting thing about the Rinkas in Mother Brain Room, as I mentioned earlier, Rinkas have a very, very low drop rate of anything. However, for some odd reason, the Rinkas in the Mother Brain Room have an increased drop rate of Helper missiles.
Hmm.
And I believe it's a 1 in 1,000 chance of getting a super missile from them.
I don't like those odds.
No, just don't expect supers, and you'll be all right. Bubsy making sure that these Rinkas are not in the way as he shoots missiles at Mother Brain.
Dragon Fangs in chat saying 1 in 100, so that just
Oh,
makes 1% said 0.1%. Yep.
okay. So
Either one's pretty bad.
I'm gonna have to call out John Unfull for the misinformation. So Bubsy taking another death. I think it's because he's using supers where he didn't intend to.
So it's all John's fault. We usually say that about French Lightning, John, but
It's,
I guess
if your name is John, it's your fault.
there you
It doesn't
go.
matter what game it is. So Bubsy wisely using the extra 2 super missiles on that particular Zep. It is kind of difficult to gauge where you are having 2 small platforms. So using those 2 supers on the Zep instead of Mother Brain's glass is a pretty good idea.
Ponkt gonna finish up cleaning up the room after getting his plasma beam.
Oh, Bubsy not realizing that he's in Morph Ball.
And Ponk a little stuck there. Okay, there he goes. Those little crevices will screw you up when you can't see them.
Oh no, Bubsy unmorph. Oh, he unmorphs this time. I think he caught himself. His health is dangerously low, and he was only able to shoot 5 missiles so far. That's 10 now. Oh, I think the issue here for Bubsy is that he's not he wasn't able to freeze and kill the bottom Rinka, which has been knocking him off the platform.
I'm not finding the hole he wants. Okay, now he's got the hole he wants.
Mother Brain is 1 round away from dying here, I think. Oh, maybe another. Yep. Very nice.
Okay, this next part's got to be a little scary.
Oh yeah, this is the
This
climb.
escape, the zero mission version of the climb. I remember the first time I beat the original Metroid, and I think I was shaking as I was going up this room. Of course, those
Luckily,
weren't crumble blocks.
right. Well, fortunately, some of the side platforms are not crumble blocks, and you can use that. It's kind of a way to take a break, as it were, while everything's blowing up, to gather yourself. Fortunately, high jump is high enough for you to bonk on some ceilings and normalize your jumps, just like Ponkt does in his climb.
Bubsy gets through that. And we see criteria for the first time. Well, Ponk Farms on his way to Lower North Fair.
So look at this, chat. Even blindfolded, 2 minutes is a lot of time for you to get out of there. I don't think anyone should be dying in escape. Bubsy also doing a similar echolocation for his ship that Ponk does.
It's a good thing the entire planet doesn't explode, or else she wouldn't have had a place to crash land here.
Yep. I believe Ponk's PB for this is a 147.
147.17.
Right. Bubsy taking a break. Pretty long cutscene here. Gives him time to gather himself. Unfortunately, you don't see many of that in Super Metroid, if at all. It's all gameplay, I think.
Yeah, the cutscenes are at the very beginning and the end, and bowling.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. The check your Twitter Chozo.
Yep. And can't read the Japanese.
Right. So there, unlike Super Metroid, there is a difference in languages between in Zero Mission between English and Japanese. Japanese is faster in that the text is there are less text, and therefore it can be compressed into fewer lines. So in a typical any percent run, Japanese can save you about 8 seconds over an English run. Whereas 100% would save you around 11 seconds. Alright, is he gonna skip the map? He skipped the map, Scotty. Where are you?
You yeah, I
You
I
don't
think
need.
I yeah, you wanna explain about that? I know I've heard the story, but you'll explain it better than me.
Scotty, our world record holder, Scotty, known for being ridiculously fast in most 2D Metroid games. For some reason, I think last year or a few months ago, had a very difficult time skipping the map. However, he would still break world records with the extra map cutscene that he would get. So if you're out there, Scotty, this is proof that you don't even need eyes to skip the map. Oh, looks like Bubsy is having a little bit of difficulty here. I don't know if he did that intentionally. He does have a few extra energy tanks here. Oh, meanwhile, we have the golden Torizo fight.
Yep, and to point this out, so Ponk is gonna go ahead and do this in order to pick up Screw Attack. Uh, Doing a green gate glitch to go at this the back way. Uh, I don't believe he's come up with a good way to do that blindfolded, so we're just gonna do it the normal intended way. And with the full beam combo, Golden Chorizo is not too bad, and there's a nice energy refill that he can pick up right after he's done. And this will also get him an extra super missile.
So as you can see here, Bubzia is taking advantage of the fact that the pirates will always act the same way, narrowly dodging that beam as he probably expected. Unfortunately, though, I think he dropped a wall jump. His screen got a little glitchy over there, so we'll have to reset the room. He knows that his health is pretty low, so he'll probably take the next save station. In Suitless, the save sections also act as refill points. So, to me, it's looking very much like Bubzia is gonna take this. What do you think, Tracy? Oh, Punk asked me to not remind you, but let you guys know that he has in fact developed a new strategy to defeat Ridley, and I'm gonna quote this here. Actually, I won't quote it because there's a lot of text. Basically, he said that it's so easy that anybody could do it.
Oh, I can't wait to see it because I don't think did he just send that to you after yesterday? Because I don't recall seeing anything different yesterday. So I'm really excited to see this new Ridley fight.
He sent it to me about 20 minutes before the room.
Oh boy.
I guess he was practicing between yesterday and today. I believe he sent it to me in Morse code. It's upgraded technology from Rail, kind of, sort of. So Bubsy about halfway through the suitless section. Oh, Punk having a little bit of difficulty with the rising acid. Fortunately, it has gravity suit. Should be.
Yeah, this is a
able to
really
dodge.
rough part because the rising acid masks all the sounds that he's using.
Yeah, it's very
Very
tense.
normalized. Yep. So he uses a whole lot of normalized jumps there. And sometimes the acid catches up. But fortunately, we have an E-tank right here that he's going to pick up.
So once again, Bubsy, knowing exactly how the pirates act in each room, seemingly shot that pirate that was about to fall out on him as if he was watching the screen. It's mentioned in the chat about a certain boss fight coming up, the Charlie fight that we affectionately call it.
You want to talk about why that's called the Charlie fight?
Well,
I've heard the story, but
the
you can describe better. Again, you can describe better than I can.
sure. For the longest time, Charlie, nobody actually knew. Well, maybe some people might have known Charlie's real name. However, there are so many different variations of his name in different books and manuals that uh, we just gave up on it. Well, not we. I wasn't there at the time. Um, so a speedrunner by the name of, oh god, don't kill me, Jagger G. I'm pretty sure it's Jagger. Finally gave up on figuring out his name and decided to name him Charlie, and we all followed suit. So the interesting thing now for Bubsy that I just realized is that the beam coming out of the handgun for Samus, suitless Samus, the projectile is slower than full power Samus. So now Bubsy's timing for echolocation is a little different, and I'm sure he knows that. So he's still using the beam to figure out where he is. However, there is a downside. Um, if you use that beam excessively, you won't be able to freeze a pirate. As you can see on the top left there, the blinking bar lets you know that her handgun is fully charged and ready to stun an enemy. So you can't really spam a beam, even though it does make a distinct sound when it hits a wall. You don't want to excessively use it, as you might risk running into a pirate.
Not realizing there's a drop sitting there, and those bugs won't come out again until the drop is gone. Okay, yeah, wrong part of the. Yeah, there you go.
So it looks like Bubsy is taking intentional hits here as a way to normalize the room. Successfully evading the pirates in a strange way that I don't think we've ever seen in a speedrun or casual run. All right.
Okay, let's
So
see
on
this new
Ponkt side,
strat, Ponk.
Yeah, there's a new strategy here.
Okay, so far getting Ridley in a really nice pogo pattern. Just fired off all his supers.
I believe it fires 17, so about 5 more beams, it seems.
Sounds about right. Not quite dead yet, Ridley.
Wow. Easy.
Yeah, there you go. Easy every time. Do something about sitting in that corner in the acid.
Yeah. He was able to get all but one of his supers off on Ridley. And we have Bubsy now facing off against Charlie. I'm really curious as to how this fight will go. Charlie does have some kind of sound cue that will let you know that his sigil is vulnerable for you to shoot. However, where he's going to be is it's gonna be a tough one. This might be similar to the spray and pray method that Ponk uses for is it Fatoon?
No, was Ridley, but now he's got a
Was it?
strat for
Yeah,
that.
okay. So now the spray and pray is Bubsia's strat here. Oh, and he gets 2 out of the 4. Ooh, that one barely missed. Now the last cycle for Charlie, as you can see, his movement gets very erratic and faster. It would be pretty hard to hit this blindfolded, as he's got 3 more hits left before death. Oh, unfortunately, he takes the death. There is a save point just before Charlie, though. I feel like this is actually a pretty close run. Pug has defeated the last of the bosses
Yeah.
and is on his way to Turian. Bubsia has 2 more bosses to go, including this one.
About how long does it take from here to get to the end in a normal
Not
situation?
long. Not long, actually. I never actually counted how long, but if I had to estimate, about 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, we're getting pretty close here.
I barely look at my splits when I play, so roughly 7 minutes according to the chat. So Bubsy is kind of knocked into the center now. It'll be. Oh, he realizes that he's getting hit and moved around, so he'll run back to the wall. Oh, and he finally gets that last shot. Very nice. So this is a sprint to the finish now. Ponk almost getting stuck behind that gate like he did in his 100% run.
That is a trolley gate.
It is. I never even knew that existed until Ponk accidentally shot it out.
I can't remember when I saw it the first time. I do know it can actually get you in the combo rando if you don't have morph ball and you try to go there, which is possible. It's actually a soft lock because unlike most gates, that one does not go back up.
So after defeating Charlie, Bubsy now has access to the Plasma Beam, Space Jump, and Gravity Suit. Which sounds really cool, but pirates still do a ton of damage. Damage is now halved to 50, having only 60 tanks. That's still pretty dangerous when you consider that you are in fact blindfolded. I do believe Bubsy will pick up the super missile here for extra firepower on Ridley. Probably the easiest super missile tank to pick up. So this is a mad dash to the end now. Bubsy is on his way to the final boss. Same as Punk, who is just exiting. Wait, where'd he go? He's on his way to the ship, presumably to refill.
Yeah, and also he used to go up through Brinstar in the any percent version of this, but he's figured out a better way to get up using this more standard route that you would use in a normal run, going up through Meridia like he is now.
Very nice use of the low-hanging ceiling there for Ponk.
Wins reverse boss order blindfolded? Probably never.
Well, it's technically possible in Zero Mission since there is no real actual.
Yeah.
Well, there is an intended order. The intended order being where the Chozos send you. Um,
Right.
However, no one really does that. So
Yeah, it's kind of funny because in the original game, the only reason why there's any reason to believe the intended order was Kraid first and then Ridley is because Kraid's hideout was hideout 1 and Ridley's hideout is hideout 2. I don't know anybody that actually did Kraid first. Like even playing casually, as a kid, it was always easier to defeat Ridley first.
yeah.
Okay, Fonk is gonna go ahead and refill at the ship.
Yeah, this race is actually it's kind of leaning towards Bubzia's side, but it does feel pretty close. Spock is now on his way to Turian. Bubzia just a few rooms away from Mecha Ridley. We're almost there, folks. This is the race to see which game is better. Looks like Zero Mission is winning.
Oh, them's fighting words.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys.
I don't think we're gonna change anybody's mind as to which game is better. So let's just be happy we've got a lot of good Metroid games still available to play, even if we haven't gotten a new one. Well, we got Samus Returns, but as much as I love playing Samus Returns, I can't stream it. So
It is a yeah. That is somewhat of a deterrence for Samus Returns if you plan on streaming console. The setup to get a capture card for your 3DS is pretty expensive from what people have been saying.
expensive, and you have to get someone that actually knows what they're doing.
Right. So you'd have to be very dedicated if you would like to stream some Samus Returns. Spock now waiting to enter Turian.
Yep, one of our cutscenes.
Oh, we had that cutscene too. See, ZM is better in every way, and ours was faster as well. Puck having, Bubsy having a little bit of stream issues, but I'm sure it'll fix itself.
Punk gonna group these Metroids and use power bombs here. The power bombs will actually draw the other Metroids to him. And they're not there yet.
Now, do you think that that is intended? The drawing effect of the power bomb.
I think so.
So in Metroid Fusion, actually, the the drawing there is an actual drawing effect of the power bomb. So the power bomb explodes in two phases in Metroid Fusion. The first one is the big expanding explosion, and the second phase actually is that explosion creating a vacuum, sucking all of the X parasites into a spot that you can collect them.
That makes sense. Now, Punk's in a little bit of trouble here. He's going to have to make sure that he does kill some of these with regular missiles or super missiles. Okay, now he's okay. Because you do need, if you're going to use all power bombs, you need 12 total, three for each room, because it takes three power bombs to kill the Metroids. Actually, he's gotten a couple of power bomb drops in the last two rooms, so that's certainly going to help him out.
Yeah, it looks like he'll be fine here as long as he doesn't overdo it with the power bombs.
Yeah, once he was able to get through the second room without using power bombs, he was fine.
I
Okay,
imagine
and doing an extra power bomb just for good measure.
Yeah. Fortunately, he's got enough here.
Yeah, that first room is a little bit more difficult in terms of power bombs because it's so much bigger.
Right. You can, however, lure all the Metroids in if you power bomb at the end of the long hallway at the start of the
Yep.
room. So Bubsia is about 4 rooms away into Mecha Ridley. There is a save point here that I can guarantee you he'll take, which is most likely going to be the last save point. I don't think Bubsia intended to trigger the alarm. He needs to be very careful here. Oh, and he takes the death.
That's
This
gonna make
is,
this close.
Oh yeah, this is gonna give Ponk a chance to catch up here. The last save being quite a ways away. I hope he remembers where he's saved. It looks like he's going the right way. Okay, good.
So this is gonna be close.
Bubsia had a
another
little bit of
reset.
difficulty. Yeah, he had a little difficulty climbing onto the top platform. That black pirate is a faster pirate and a more durable pirate. It's very annoying, so that pirate being in the way can kind of make a mess of things.
So one last save for Ponk here. Yeah, Ponk is just, I don't believe Ponk has died or reset this run.
Yeah, it's looking like a really good run for Pog, because PD
Yeah.
being a 147, you said?
Yep. I don't think he's gonna quite get that, but he's gonna easily do a sub 2. Maybe a sub 1. Probably should be a sub 150 even. I'm gonna do what I like to call the Zeb skip skip.
Whoa. This is gonna be really close, I think.
Wow.
Actually, Pog,
That's
hmm.
you have a better idea than I do because I don't know how much time the ZM side, how much Bubsia's got left to go.
This is actually looking
really
like
close.
Punk's race. Now, Bubsia Bubsia was in the lead, but that unfortunate death set him back pretty far.
Yeah.
And then coupled with a few more resets after that, really gave Pog a chance to catch up here. see if Pawn can capitalize on this. Not that he knows or anything. Oh, he's cracking the knuckles. It's serious time. He's contemplating his eventual victory over his opponent,
Yeah.
Bubsy.
So the dying to Mother Brain is a thing in Super Metroid, though usually it comes in 3 tank any percent runs when you get hit by an untimely catch-up beam. And it's very rare that you see a death to Mother Brain 3, which is about where Ponk is going to be at right now. Oh, I can guarantee you Ponk will save the animals. He's very well known in this community for that.
It seems like Bubsy doesn't quite have the height that he needs here to get up onto that top platform. Oh, he hears the pirate right above him. With any luck, he lured the pirate down, but it doesn't look that way. Oh, finally takes care of it. Yeah, I mean, it's not a zero mission run if you don't drop a space jump. The zero mission space jump is arguably one of the best space jumps of all the Metroids.
Okay.
It's basically similar to how you would space jump in Meridia.
Ah, gotcha.
So, Bubsy finally getting into that save room, although I don't think it's enough. I don't think it's enough for Bubsy to catch up and win here.
Yeah,
The
Punk's
escape
about
sequence-
2.5 minutes away to finishing this thing.
Yeah, it takes more than 2 minutes from where Bubsy is to finish the game in a regular run. Can Ponk do it? Can he be the first and only blindfolded champion of, I guess, the Metroid world? Now, Ponk, as you said, Ponk does like to save the animals, and he will. Do you think that saving the animals might cost Ponk the run here?
No, because he's got unless it costs him to the point where he actually doesn't make it to the ship. And he's gotten pretty good at this final bit. It's very normalized. All these jumps he's got well prepared out.
Alright, we'll see it. Meanwhile, Bubsy as final boss, and will trigger the escape sequence after he defeats the Mecha Ridley. He manages to get about half of his supers in, so just a few more missile shots here should take care of it. Very nicely done.
And to the comment that SM is easier, it's not. They're both difficult games, but the ZM is a man's game. Hey, I'd say it's a woman's game. Thank you very much, because it's a female main character.
Exactly. Both runners now in the escape sequence, although Ponk is
Much closer.
He's supposed to be one room away from winning here, but he'll take a detour.
He's gonna take this detour. Although I'm gonna shout out Beeps out there in chat, who is the one who actually lost 2 randomizer races this season to saving the animals. So Ponk swears up and down that one of the races he lost, he wasn't gonna save. That he was gonna save the animals, but I swear he turned back after he saw the dot done. So beeps the true animal saver.
It's coming out of the wire.
How amazing after all this close. They're both in the escape at the same time. I mean, I don't know that I imagined that this would be this close.
And ponkt has
Nope, he's got to
wait.
get to the ship. He's got his setup.
Fortunately for
There it
both
is.
runners, the GG to ponkt finishing with a unofficial SRL time of 150 flat, it seems.
GG to Ponk.
Yeah, GG, absolutely. Let me switch the audio over.
As Ponk celebrates.
Oh my. Okay. Okay.
Are we going to
I
be able
guess.
to bring these guys in?
Yep. I think we have some time here. It's all my fault for overhyping Zero Mission, but you know, it's still a really good run between the two runners. And I sent Ponk the link. He's gonna be here shortly. And there he is.
Congratulations.
Hello, thank you.
So, how did you feel about this run? And at any point, did you feel that you were behind?
I felt behind basically the entire time because I knew that Bubsia has the way faster PB. But I felt, in general, I felt really good about this run. The start was a little sloppy, but after that, I was just blazing through it. I didn't really make a whole bunch of mistakes. I'm only like 3 minutes off my record time, so I felt like really good.
Yeah, it seems like you're starting to get a hang of this. So the real question now is when are blindfolded runs?
Not too soon.
Okay.
But really, I had the stream open here on my second monitor, and the moment I took off the blindfold and I saw both of us were in the escape, this must have been a really close race.
Well, Bobsia was ahead of you significantly.
Oh, I can
until you
imagine.
took an unfortunate death very late into the game.
Dang.
So that allowed you to catch up here and eventually take the win.
I hope you hyped up the new Ridley strat, as
I
I told you.
Did. And you
I
didn't even tell me about it.
All right.
While we're at it, we could talk a little about your 100% run yesterday as well. So, how do you feel about that?
Not as good as about this one.
But you got it. You got the sky missiles. That was making us a little nervous.
Mhm.
The other choke points I thought for that were the when you went and took that save in Lower Norfair, and I think, did you forget that those were shot blocks down there?
Yes, yeah. No, I guess the thing I forgot was that they respawn, actually. That
Okay,
was
that's true.
my bigger issue.
Oh no,
And
looks
then-
like Bubsy is having a little... Oh, there you go. He finally baited the Black Pirates. He does have enough health here to just continue to spam this beam as he glitches that left one here. One door away, and Bubsy will also finish.
And one other question about
GG.
yesterday's. I mean, you and I talked about this after the race yesterday, but the wrong sand pit.
Oh yeah, no, I think I figured it out pretty quickly. I just wanted to make sure a little early. Yeah, GG to Bubsia. Holy heck.
GG to both runners. It was a really exciting race.
Well, thanks a lot, Rasu, for allowing us to do this rather unconventional race to finish off the marathon.
Yeah, it was. I saw it and I was like, yes, this needs to happen. So I'm trying to get Bubsy in here for an interview.
Oh yeah.
You're both in here at the same time.
randomizers are finished, let me put the official winner stamp on Ponk's side
Hey,
here. I don't think it works
feels
though.
good, man.
This is a custom layout, so I don't think it'll work.
Ah,
Sorry. You still are the winner though.
Thank you. Oh, I think Bubsy is in the wrong voice channel. He's on the
Yeah,
Marathon server.
we'll get him in here eventually.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Yep.
Yo, what's up?
GG.
Dude, that was rough.
GG.
Yo, GG.
Do you want me to spoil it for you or not?
What? I saw that Punk won by like 3 minutes.
Right, but do you want me to spoil why he won?
Yeah. Why?
Okay. When you were at the room just before the save station, your Mecha Ridley,
Oh, yeah, where I died.
you died. You were ahead by far.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Well, happens, I guess.
Yeah. So, how did you feel about this?
Well, there was so much weird stuff going on in this run. First, I lost like 10 minutes to Ridley to this freaking bomb jump. I don't know what happened there, but that was super weird. And then deaths all over the place. But, well,
Interesting to note that Ponk actually did not die at all.
what?
Correctly.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Deathless! Oh my god.
I mean, I
man.
was only like 3 minutes off my record. It was like an actually good run for me.
Wow, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, I'll give you the moral victory considering how early it is for you.
Yeah.
Even better that we could make this work.
Yeah.
All right. So unfortunately, we are over the scheduled time here. So if you guys have any last comments, now is the time.
All right, I'll make this quick. I'll post a comment in the chat. So Bubsy and I are both admins of a group called the Blindfolded Brotherhood, which is basically the group for blindfolded gaming and blindfolded speedrunning specifically. So if you have any interest in Blindfolded Super Metroid or Blindfolded Zero Mission or any other game blindfolded that you want to get started on, we have like a really big group that helps each other out with finding strats, finding setups, and getting runs going. So if you're interested, join that Discord and see if you have like any games that you want to start getting into blindfolded. It's like really growing community. It's a lot more spread than it used to be a few years ago. So that's just all I gotta say. And thanks again for making this race possible. This was I really think this was the first of a kind for this kind of thing. So thanks a lot for Rossi for making this happen.
Submit this to your GDQ submission, please.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and if anyone from the GDQ staff is watching, I'd like to
I
submit
said
this.
that. And Bubsy, any last comments?
Bonk basically said everything. Just thank you for having us, I guess. It was fun.
All right. And Tracy?
Yeah, thanks for involving me so much in this whole weekend, doing the randomizer and both blindfolded runs. What a great marathon. I hope we keep doing this every year. And of course, thank you to Speed Gaming and to Fiesel and all the Speed Gaming staff. And Miss Metroid for jumping in and helping out with stuff as well. It's a great time. And just to celebrate this wonderful series of games is always wonderful. So I'm just proud to be a part of it.
No, thank you. And finally, thank you everyone especially the Speed Gaming, Fiesel, Miss Metroid, Sakura, and Clifford, who helped out earlier this morning, and the rest of the Speed Gaming staff for making this possible. I know we went over the limit, and hopefully next time this won't happen. But yeah, we are trying to make this a regular thing, and if it becomes successful over the next year or two, there might be a possibility of us making it a twice a year event. But yeah, a lot of work. But based off of all the support that we've been getting regarding Metroid Marathon. I don't doubt that it's going anywhere. So, well, it's staying. Hopefully. But none of this can none of this can happen with the contribution from all the runners, commentators, trackers, and anyone else involved in this. So thank you all very much, and we will see you again next year. Have a good night, everybody, and we are signing off. By the way, I'm Rossi123. Nice to see you.